Good morning, traders. What's going on, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, happy Tuesday. One sec, let me mute my Mac. And we are set. We are ready to rock and roll. Guys, happy Tuesday. It is March 30th. Do we have 31 days this month? We do. So, 2 more days until the end of the month. Let's have a strong finish. Let's make some great trades, lock in some great profits, and end the month on a great note. So again, it's about 9:10 in the morning, Tuesday, March 30th. We're going to go ahead and dive into our pre-market watch list, see exactly what we have going on. And guys, today, unfortunately, it's not all that hot. It's really not that hot whatsoever. So I've been kind of just skimming through some stocks, seeing what we have going on, what the catalyst is, right? Is there any hot press releases? Where's the volume? Where's the activity, right? What stock has the best potential to make some money? So let's go ahead and dive into our up gappers and go ahead and check some of these out real quick. We do have about 20 minutes until the bell. So far for me, one trade on the day, VTSI. Small 67 bucks. If I would have held just a little bit longer, I could have locked in a couple more dollars, but it's all good. I actually posted up in chat this morning BIOC, that I was actually looking at BIOC off this higher low, break of this massive downtrend, stops below 6. I was actually over here looking at VTSI for a similar setup. Just a simple break of this massive downtrend off a bounce of $7. So I was actually long on this trade. BIOC got a bigger move. This would have been more rewarding, but it is what it is. Green is green. I'll take $67 in 5 minutes of work. That's the beauty of trading, right? 67 bucks. Who else can say they make $67 and work for 5 minutes? I don't know a lot of people, right? I don't know anybody that says, hey, I work for, maybe Elon Musk, okay? Elon could be like, yes, I make $1 million a minute, all right? He's the exception. Jeff Bezos, everybody like that. But who else can step in and make a quick 60 bucks in 5 minutes? I don't know a lot of people. So green's green, lock it in when you have it. I should have definitely taken BIOC instead of VTSI, but they were both really, really good setups. Again, just a break of the downtrend, guys. We had nice support, breaking the downtrend, nice little volume pop. We're good to go. So while we're here on VTSI, let's go ahead and talk about this. What do we have really going on over on VTSI? Like, what's the news, right? Do we have any news? We do. So VTSI shares are trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q4 EPS and sales results. So, it's not like hot news like we saw yesterday over on HGEN, met their primary endpoints, right? It's not a 4-star, 5-star keyword. It's just simply earnings, which does bring in some volume and some, hype every now and then. So we have VTSI. This stock is a 7 million in float stock, trading 4.8 million shares this morning, currently up 51% here in pre-market. Again, simply off better than expected Q4 EPS and sales results. What do we do every morning, guys, right? We know there's a catalyst. There's a reason for the stock to be moving. We're mindful of the float. We see there's 5 million shares being traded, right? Let's go ahead and jump on over to Yahoo Finance. Average volume, 61,000. So we're trading substantially more volume than the average. So there's activity, there's volume. The likelihood of us making profits is definitely here. So I'm definitely going to keep VTSI on high watch as long as we hold over 687. Now, for any reason we cannot hold above 687, we start coming down towards around 6. I actually may look to buy this for a bounce off $6 from post-market resistance. We can see here that we had a little bit of this post-market resistance yesterday actually right around this 591. We tagged it once, tagged it twice. Open up this morning, nice big pop. So if we cannot hold 687, this previous low, also the old downtrend resistance is new support. We continue to come lower. I may look to buy this for a quick bounce, 20, 30 cent scalp off this 561. Again, that's going to be on VTSI. Right now, what I suggest getting involved, you could, right? We want to continue to watch the volume. So we had a break of the downtrend with increasing volume, right? What are we starting to see here on the 5-minute chart? Starting to get our nice first little pullback off this break with decreasing volume. If we can actually close above the 9 EMA, this would be a higher low. We do have light 9 EMA support with a decreasing volume pullback on a higher time frame 5-minute chart. This could be a nice little setup to get the next leg up, at least to VWAP. So again, let's wait for this 5-minute candle to close out. We have 30 seconds to go, right? If we close above the 9 EMA, you could look to take your entries. That would put you somewhere around 737. Stops would be below this candle low, so at 712. First target would be a break over this high of 780 for a push up to 8. We're starting to see that move now on VTSI as we're talking about it. So keep VTSI on watch over the next 15 minutes. I do want to continue skimming through our watch list real quick. We also have BIOC. What's up with BIOC, guys? All right, it's a 13 million float stock, currently up 23%, trading not substantial volume, right? Volume right now is 839,000 shares. I see it as not substantial because we have 4 million, 41.3, but that doesn't matter. We can't compare it to other stocks. What's the average daily volume over on BIOC? Once again, Yahoo Finance, right? Average volume is 500,000 shares. We're trading 800,000 shares. So is that substantial? No. My rule of thumb for new traders is try to stay about 2 times relative volume. So in this case, BIOC's average volume is 500,000 shares, right? At least 1 million as a new trader. That's going to show you that there's at least 2 times the average volume. There's some activity. It's pretty darn close. So we are going to keep BIOC on watch. The reason for that is we had a nice little technical break of this massive downturn from yesterday, simply up on earnings just like VTSI. And right now we had the break on increased volume, so that's key. We're getting a pullback on light volume and we're right above VWAP and 9 EMA. So right now if you guys are like, hey, I like BIOC, I think this has potential, bring your support level up towards around 625, right? Underneath the VWAP, underneath the 9 EMA, underneath 625 natural support. And if you like this for a possible leg up, you would want to put your stops about 10 cents at the most, right? Give it about 10 cents of breathing room at the most. Your first target would actually be a retest of these highs at 656. Next target would be this spiking high at 678 over on BIOC. Again, it's trading above the average volume. It's not substantial, so this is not where the buyers are at. This is not where traders are right now. You have maybe out of 100 traders, 5 to 10 on BIOC. Where's everybody else at? Well, everybody else right now is over on VTSI because of the volume. And just as we talk about this, look what's going on. We close above the 9 EMA. We're starting to get some volume moving in off the volume pullback. Again, first target, 780. If you guys took that entry, I would go ahead and bring stops to break even because we do not want to see this come back down, right? If this does come back down below the 9, it'll probably come back down to 7. So if I was in this trade, I would be bringing those stops up pretty darn close to break even and looking for this to get a quick pop into the 780s, maybe $8. Go ahead and take some profit, move on. All right. Other than that, we have CSCW. All right. So CSCW has a decent press release. What is the press release? Let's try and find it. CSCW announces the development and application of non-fungible token NFT for its entertainment business. What makes this a good press release? It's not the fact that it announces development and application, right? It's the fact that it talks about NFT. And what's been hype lately? What's been the hype? NFTs, TKAT, right? Look at all these other stocks that have been ripping and running the last 2 weeks. Okay. So again, we just have a keyword here. That's the hype. This is where the action is when we have companies talking about non-fungible tokens, NFTs. A year ago, It was anything EV, electric vehicles, anything that had a press release EV. Then it was COVID, anything that had COVID in it. Right now, NFT is a keyword to look for in a press release for stocks to move up. And what did we see on CSCW, right? Company issues the press release. It closes yesterday at 134. It is currently up over $1 a share in pre-market. Now, one thing I want to point out, this stock is a choppy stock. All right, I was trading this last week. You guys saw my TikTok and my loss of $1,600. It was on CSCW. I was trading this last week, right? This is a very, very choppy stock. Every time it looks like it could set up and break, set up, break, dump. I mean, it just couldn't make up its mind on where it wanted to go. Not saying that's going to be the same situation today on CSCW, but it's something I'm personally going to be mindful of because I was trading this stock last Wednesday. I did take a loss on this stock. I realize it is choppy. It's all over the place. So that's something I need to be mindful of. But we do have a fresh press release. We have great volume on CSCW, 42 million shares. Average daily volume on this stock is 16. So we're trading at least 3 times average daily volume, which is great. But we have some resistance, right? What do we see here as far as resistance? Not just these previous highs. What else do we have? Well, we have this prior uptrend, right? We have this beautiful uptrend it was respecting. We crack below. Old support turns into new resistance. Look at how beautiful this trend line is. Take this as a lesson today. If you have an uptrend and the stock cracks the uptrend, don't remove it. It can still be utilized as a level of resistance, right? So here's our uptrend support. Holding, cracks below, resistance. So, is it safe to say that if we continue to push that this trend line here may hold the stock down as resistance and give us a good profit target? Absolutely. So if we push right now, where's the trend line? 250. If we push, let's go ahead and extend this to the right. If we start pushing at, say, 1030, where's the trend line? 273, right? So I would go ahead and keep the trend line on your chart on CSCW as it is going to be utilized as a good level of support resistance. As long as we're below the trend line, it's resistance. If we can get back above and hold it, it will turn back into new support. So again, CSCW, we have a press release in regards to NFTs, right? NFTs are, the stocks are getting hyped up. Anytime we have a company talking about NFTs, non-fungible tokens, we see some action, we see some activity. So CSCW is definitely in our top 3. The reason I'm going to say top 3 is just because it's a very choppy stock from last Wednesday, and it's nothing I want to personally focus on, okay? But it is good news. It's a medium float stock. It's 43 million in float, and we have great volume at 43 million shares, currently up 80% over on CSCW. I'm personally going to be looking at VTSI and BIOC, all right? I'm going to look at these as possible sleeper plays, right? We have CSCW, 100 traders in the market, right? 80 of them are at CSCW. This is Jack's party. Jack's party is lit. Everybody loves it, right? Everybody's over at Jack's party. Then you got Josh's party. Then you got Alex's party, right? But the second Jack runs out of beer, right? The second Jack runs out of beer, people still want to get drunk and have a good time, and this starts selling off. What 2 other stocks may get the shift in momentum and volume? VTSI, again, number 3 on our leaderboard. BIOC, number 5. I like VTSI because it's a lower float stock, trading good volume. But I also like BIOC as well. So those are going to be my top 2 picks for the day. I really want to see CSCW start to sell off. I really want to see people taking profit, this selling off, and I want to see the shift of buyers, right? I want to see these traders shift from CSCW to VTSI or to BIOC. All right, so that's kind of my thinking process, my thought process, what I'm looking for today. Other than that, we also had MNPR. Right now, no volume, guys. We'll keep it on watch just in case it does start getting some hype. Right now, definitely don't, think you guys should be paying attention to it. And then we also have HGEN, yesterday's top gainer. If we can hold above $20, we still do have some potential to get another leg up over on HGEN. This was an easy to short stock. When this stock started selling off, you can look at this. And you can see from a psychological standpoint, right, where traders may be going short, where traders may be taking profit. So we had a pretty key level of support right here, right? We held it. Nice push in the new daily highs. We come down, bounce. Once we lost this, we probably have our first initial shorts taking this short. You get a little bit of a bounce. The more disciplined traders are like, all right, so I'm going to wait for this to retest to take it short. I mean, there was a lot of selling activity. This stock gave a lot back from $29.20 all the way back down towards around 21 bucks. I can only imagine how many shorts are currently still in this stock, right? I'm sure more shorts are coming on in underneath this key level of support. However, if we hold $20 and we get back above this 21.48, back above this 23.62, what's going to happen? Right? Shorts are going to be underwater. They're going to feel the pressure if there's a lot of shorts in the stock, right? And we can visually see where shorts would be making entries. We can look at volume. We can look at price action and get a good idea, right? Is this short activity or are these just bounces? This to me looks more like short activity, just from my experience in the stock market. So if we break some of these key levels, that's going to force some of these shorts to cover their position as they'll be underwater. They'll be in the red. That could help get this stock moving again back up to 26, maybe back up to $29 and $30 over on HGE. And so this is nothing I'm looking at right off the bat. This is something that's a back burner play. And if we do start breaking over some of these levels, I will be focused over on HGE and as well. But to start, we got VTSI and we got BIOC. And then again, you guys are probably looking at CSCW, but I want to see how this reacts the first, probably 5 to 10 minutes of the day and just see if it's really choppy or if it's actually going to be somewhat consistent. All right, so we have 4 minutes to go until the bell. It's not a super hot day in the market, right? It's not super hot, but there is activity. There is definitely some, opportunity for some profit. Let's go ahead and see what we got going on. Yes, sir! Just finished chapter 5 of the course. Corey, awesome stuff. Hopefully you are loving it. Good morning, Bill. Good morning, everybody. What's going on? Yes, Maddie, NFTs are hot. The analogies. Everybody loves the analogies. Jack's party. Jack's party's lit, right? Becky's over at Jack's party. Everybody wants to go to Jack's party because Becky's there. And the booze. When Becky leaves and the booze is gone, guys, that party's dead. No one's going back to that party. You may have a few stragglers, right? But they're passed out on the couch because they're so damn drunk. Woo. Everybody else is going to a different party to keep the party going. All right, guys. So let's have an awesome day. We have, again, 3 minutes and 30 seconds until the opening bell. If you guys have any questions, comments, and concerns, let me know in the next 3 minutes. I'll definitely try and answer those. But if not, let's go ahead and dive into the market. Let's see where the opportunity is, and let's make some money! All right, you're saying the screen's blurry. Go ahead and go down to your settings gear. All right, settings gear, hit quality, change it to 1080p. If it's still blurry, change it to 720p. Depending on your computer resolution, depending on your internet connection, depending on your settings for YouTube, you may have to change it from auto and actually change it to one of the preset qualities, right? Because I'm streaming in ultra low latency. So again, if your internet's not the best, it will come in blurry as the buffering. So if you go ahead and switch that to one of those settings, the delay may be a little bit longer, say 4 to 5 second delay, but it will be crystal clear. So go ahead and check that out. Cool, good stuff. Now, when we migrate back over to Alpha Day Trading, again, it's our own hosted live stream, chat rooms. You won't have any of these issues and stuff like that. Everything will be delicioso. Josh, what are you watching or just joined? Top 3 stocks I'm watching. I would say top 2 that I'm mainly focused on right out of the gate. BIOC, VTSI. You're probably like, Josh, VTSI, falling. BIOC, falling. CSCW is moving up. Why are you looking at those two? Well, because I traded CSCW last Wednesday and it was very, very, very choppy, right? That was my loss of $1,600. It was a very choppy stock. So again, I'm not discrediting this stock. I'm just going to say, hey, for the first 10 minutes, I'm not going to trade CSCW. I'm going to see how it looks today. Is it choppy still or is it actually consistent, right? If it's consistent, let's go. CSCW, number 1. If it's choppy and I'm not liking it, I'm going to go look at BIOC and VTSI and hope that CSCW starts selling off, because if we start to see our #1 gainer selling off and losing volume and losing momentum, traders are going to want to go somewhere else to make money. Where are they going to go? They're going to go to this upgapper list. What's next? VTSI, 5 million shares, 7 million in float. News, let's go, right? So again, I'm thinking ahead. I want to be prepared just in case CSCW does start selling off, so I can go ahead and be ready on VTSI, on BIOC, right? And right now, I'm really not liking anything, to be completely honest with you. I'm going to sit back on my hands at the start, right? I want to see if we get anything to hit the breakout scanner. I want to see if something moves up and gets halted. I want to see if anything's hitting the high of the day momentum scanner, right? I want to wait for the best of the best opportunity, because right now, I really don't like too much, right? I'm not a huge fan of anything we see. It is a pretty quiet day. It's not super hot. I would say it's lukewarm, all right? It is lukewarm. There's a slight breeze outside. It's starting to rain a little bit. Not a lot, just a mist, right? It is lukewarm. It's not beautiful and sunny. It's not ice cold, all right? It's right there in the middle. It's okay, all right? It's okay. You can go outside in shorts, maybe some jeans. But yeah, definitely not a short day. Definitely not a beach day, guys. All right, so let's have some fun. Again, questions, comments, concerns, let me know. With that being said, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And there's the bell. All right, so I have CSCW off towards the right. So I will be keeping that one on watch just in case it does start moving on up. So I'm looking at that. VTSI, some profit taking. BIOC, same thing. So right now, sitting back on the hands, no reason to jump in a trade. There's nothing there yet. Forex, good platform for new day traders. Oanda. OANDA. You actually can get a paper account as well and trade live Forex. That's probably the top broker I would recommend for Forex trading. Oanda. So CSCW right down towards around 220, trying to hold VWAP. BIOC trying to get back above this 625. And VTSI testing the lows of pre-market at 687. Right at first glance, I don't like CIDM. There's not a lot of volume, right? When I see a chart looking like an OTC stock, right? When I go look at an OTC stock, this is what they look like. When I see a NASDAQ listed stock that looks like this, I'm not a huge fan, but what's the news? Yes, Director Pat O'Brien reported a purchase of 56,000 shares at an average price of $201. Okay, form filing on Monday. So from a technical standpoint, we want to see this hold above 150 at the lowest, right? We have our 13 SMA, we have our 50 SMA, we have prior resistance as well. We have prior support, 150 natural support line as well. So as long as this stays above 150, you're good to go back up towards around the highs of $2. All right, CIDM, as long as it holds 150, you can definitely see this back up towards around $2. So you got CSCW getting some hype to it, guys. You do have CSCW getting a little bit of hype to it right now. Go ahead and pull that up on the live stream. So we have this pretty key level of resistance right there, right? Right there around 240. We also have this prior uptrend holding this down as resistance, but we do have pre-market highs of 257 would be a good first target. So let's see if we get our first pullback. What kind of pattern is this, guys? For those of you looking at the live stream, what kind of pattern is CSCW? Anybody know? If not, we'll do a little lesson on this today. So CSCW is getting some hype to it. CSCW, all eyes on CSCW. Limit up, limit down on CSCW for a halt. Where's LULD at? LULD. 260. That is not. That is a typical red to green move. All right, this is a red to green. When the stock opens, pulls back, gets a big pop in volume. This is a quick red to green move. Beautiful setup. And the nice thing about this, it was down towards pre-market lows of 220. Also the VWAP, which made this a good representation, a good entry to go ahead and get long over the break of the open. If you guys don't know what a red to green move is, I think we have a lesson here on YouTube. If not, it's in the course. So if you guys are enrolled in the course, we do have a red to green move lesson. So let's see how this 1 minute candle closes on CSCW. We're back below the uptrend, right? We're back below that trend line. We're back below 257 pre-market highs. If we can't get back above and get into a new high, I am going to look to buy this off 240, right? I'm looking for a pullback, 240, quick little entry, quick little scalp. Stops will be about 5 to 10 cents at the most. Oh, you guys don't have the scanners, my bad. And you get the scanners now. You guys are good. So we're trying to hold 250, the 9. I like 240 better as far as an entry on CSCW. So I may like average in, like scale into my position and not go full size just in case we do come down to 240 and I can take an average on it. But we look like it's trying to hold 250. Gonna give it a couple more seconds here. But I am looking at CSCW for a possible entry for a push back up to 267 and then over to 275. I am long CSCW, 1,250 shares to start. I still think we could come down to 240, but just in case, I do have a small position here. In case we do go ahead and get this break back over 267 up to 275. If we do come down to 240, I will average into this play. See, this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is the most choppy play in the freaking world. What did I say in pre-market? I'm out, by the way. I'm out. What did I say in pre-market? This stock is extremely choppy for a 43 million in float stock. Trading good volume, good news, right? We have our nice push, red to green move. We get our nice little volume pullback right into the 9 EMA. Looking like it wants to push again. I understand coming down a little bit, but I mean, 30 cents, 35 cents in a second. I mean, that is just crazy. So, yep, full transparency. I did take a loss on that trade. I went ahead and cut out. Negative 251.38. So that puts me at negative 184.11. I am not trading CSCW today, guys. All right, I gave it a go. It had the red to green move. The volume was there. The consistency was there. But it didn't work out. I went ahead and stayed disciplined. I cut my losses. I'm only down 184 on the day. Not bad at all. So that being said, I am not going to be touching CSCW today. Not a fan. It's looking like it's going to be choppy again. And if you guys want to see my entries, we have CSCW in at 255, CSCW averaged in at 226 to bring that cost basis down a little bit, and I got out at 230 and 231 on market orders. All right, here we go. We got VTSI halted, 780. VTSI. Let's see if we get that little bit of a halt strategy here, guys. A little bit of a halt strategy on VTSI possibly. This stock got halted at 936, so at 941.25 we will be live. 941.25. We got about 2 minutes to go, right? If we can get a nice little halt strategy, I would look to take this trade with about 25-cent stops over on VTSI. So VTSI, my number one watch right now. How's BIOC doing? BIOC? MNPR? We'll go ahead and take MNPR off the watch list. HGEN, trying to hold that 1966 level. Trying to get a little bounce off yesterday's lows. Nothing crazy, but it was trying a little bit. Why would a stock get halted? So this is a halt due to volatility. So basically it moved up too fast. It triggered a circuit breaker halt. Now it's going to be halted for at least 5 minutes, right? So you have 5-minute and 10-minute halts typically are the most common. So just the simple fact that we had a lot of price action in a very short period of time, it triggered a circuit breaker halt due to volatility. So 941.25 over on VTSI. So we got less than a minute to go. I'm looking for a possible halt strategy play here on VTSI with about 25-cent stops at the most if I get my entry down towards around the 780s. How much do I want to lose on the trade, right? How much do I want to lose? I'm okay with losing a couple $100 on a halt strategy, right? Because they have so much upside potential. So that being said, how many shares can I get? If I'm risking 25, 30 cents, I can probably go with about 700 shares. Right? Probably go with about 700 shares on VTSI to not exceed my stop. So right now, VTSI, I have 500 shares ready to go. Market order. Let's see. Right now, it looks like we have a bid up towards around 825. We may get a really nice gap up here. We're going to be live any second, guys. Any second, live on VTSI. Could be a 10-minute halt. We'll give it a few more seconds. It's been 5 minutes. So far, we are still halted. We got halted at 936.25. That put us at 941.25. We're at 941.45. So this actually may be a 10-minute halt. All right? So that's going to put us at 946.25. So we got about another 4.5 minutes to go on VTSI before we're live. I'll give you a brief little rundown on the halt strategy, but we do have a lesson on this. Basically, what we're looking for on this particular stock, VTSI, I'd like to see at least a 25-cent gap up. So I'd like to see, out of the halt, it to open at least right around $8. I want to see a quick washout down towards the halt area of 777, where I look to take my entries for a squeeze into a second halt. So basically, stock's halted. Stock gaps up out of the halt. On this particular price, I would like to see at least 25 to 30 cents. A quick sell-off, people taking profit out of the halt. Slam the stock down very quickly down towards 777 where it's currently halted at for buyers to move in to squeeze it into a possible second halt. And the goal is to sell out of the third halt on a gap up. All right? So basically that's a halt strategy. Gap up, pull back, squeeze. If it doesn't get into another halt, I'm taking profit along the squeeze. It's a very quick, very aggressive move, not for the faint of heart, all right? It's very quick, very fast. So if you don't have a good broker, if you don't like super quick moves, the halt strategy is not for you, but it's very, very rewarding if executed correctly. I love these strategies. SEC put regulations in to halt stocks due to multiple things. It could be news, could be volatility, etc., right? You have limit up, limit downs across the whole entire stock market. So what happened last year when the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow were all selling off, right? When they hit limit down of 7%, they freeze trading for 15 minutes. It hits another 14% down on the day. They halt trading for 7 minutes. Basically, back in the 70s or 80s, there was a big order that went through that really took a toll on the stock market. It was a fat finger order. Someone went to go sell like 1,000 shares. They accidentally sold 100,000 shares, and it caused a big sell-off in the market, and they didn't have these provisions in place to limit trading, to stop, pause trading, let everybody take a breath, relax, get their shit together before resuming. So they started implementing what's called a circuit breaker halt. So across your indexes, right, your S&P, your Dow, your NASDAQ, you have limit up, limit down halts. Those are typically 7%. Every 7%, if you hit a third halt on the day, which is 21%, they freeze trading for the rest of the day. Last year, we never hit that. We hit a 14% decline. We were so close to hitting a 20% decline, but we ended up pushing back up off that, limit up, limit down. Penny stock land, small caps, you're looking at, I think it's a 5%. If the stock moves more than 5% in a certain period of time, it will trigger what's called a circuit breaker halt. Due to volatility, it will pause trading for 5 to 10 minutes, let everybody collect themselves, and then it resumes. So to answer your question, the SEC put these regulations in years ago, and they say it's to protect traders. I don't think anything the SEC does is to protect traders. All right, so we have less than a minute to go, VTSI. Right now we have bids at $8, VTSI. This is one of the reasons why I like Lightspeed's level 2. Right, TD Ameritrade showing we have a bid at $7.77. I can see that we have someone trying to buy this at $8.30, $8, $7.80, right? We can see there's active bids while the stock is being halted. So that's a good idea that we might see this gap up. We have about 20 seconds to go, VTSI. 20 seconds. Again, you know my reasoning behind the trade. You know where I'm looking to enter, where my stops are, my strategy, the plan, you name it. You know exactly what I'm looking for and why I'm looking. I do not like the MACD intraday. No, I like RSI, volume, 9 EMA, and VWAP. Love keeping it simple. 831. See, that happened very, very, very quick. So I'm not long on VTSI. I am not long. It never came down to the 780. So you see how we gapped up? Nice gap up. You see how it very quickly pulled back and bounced? I mean, literally, you didn't even have a chance to see it on the chart because it happened that quick. I was looking to buy this at the whole area, somewhere around 780. We only got down to 790. If that would have came down 10 more cents, look at how much profit I could have made. Right? This doesn't happen all the time, but when we nail these halt strategies and we get filled close to that candle, 777, 780, imagine me getting that fill. Right? Big squeeze, big push, very quick, over $1 per share. That's what I was looking for, but I did not get my entry over on VTSI. It depends. There's not a set amount of time for the stock to fall from the gap up. As long as it holds its gains, you're good. It could take 5 seconds. It could happen in a millisecond. This happened before the blink of an eye, right? Boom, boom. Right? Sometimes it gaps up. 5, 10 seconds, comes down and bounces, right? So there's no set time, there's no set rule. Just depends on how crazy the stock is, how much volume, how much activity there is. So right now, we have resistance at 913 on VTSI, all right? 913 resistance, 780 support on VTSI. Right now, why would we be trading this at 860? It's a 50-50. It's a gamble. Could this come up and then crash and halt down? Yes. Could this come down and bounce? Yes. Why would I trade it in what we call the uncertainty zone? I'm not going to trade it, right? It's too uncertain to where it's going to go. We have resistance nearby, support's very far away. Would I short it? No, because it could squeeze, right? I'm going to sit back and wait for the best trade. Woo! You got to fill at 777? I don't know how you got to fill. Your broker must love you. Your broker must love you at 777 because we only came down to 790. My broker doesn't love me that much. Unless you got in before the halt, that's good stuff. Yeah, Maddie, just to clarify again, 9 EMA, VWAP, volume, RSI is all I need. Right? There's nothing wrong with the MACD. There's nothing wrong with stochastic fasts. There's nothing wrong with the TTM squeeze, right? It's all personal preference, right? Those are all very popular tools, studies, indicators. They're all very popular. They're all utilized. Bollinger Bands, right? How come I don't use all that? I'm a price action trader. I'm level 2, right? I really think psychology. I don't need 10 indicators to find 3 to 4 separate reasons to take a trade. Literally support, resistance, the VWAP, 9 EMA, RSI, volume, price action is all I need to find 3 to 4 separate reasons to take a good trade. I don't need to overwhelm myself with 10 indicators and have a crazy looking chart. Again, personal preference, I like to keep it simple. So right now you have resistance at 913. If you guys are in, you want to take profit at resistance, at least take half of your size. Get paid. Because what could happen on BTSI? This would come crashing all the way back down to 780. You're up $1 a share if you got in at 780, right? Why be greedy and not take profit? When you have profit, take it. Get paid. Doesn't matter how much you were up. Oh, I was up $1,000 at one point. Fantastic. That's awesome. What'd you make today? Oh, nothing. What do you mean you were up $1,000? Oh, I never sold it. I got stopped out at break even. Okay, well, I could care less then, right? No one cares how much you were up. The only thing that matters is how much you're locking in, right? So always lock in profit. Don't be greedy. How's BIOC doing? BIOC's duty. CSCW. See what I'm talking about? CSCW's garbage. HGEN. BTSI is where the mob's at, guys. This is where all the buyers are right now in the market. I'm going to connect these lower shadows here and just see if it's going to hold a little higher or low type of deal right off these little shadows. So you got 9 EMA and VWAP support. You got micro higher lows, little higher low, higher low, higher low off these lower shadows. Decreasing volume along the pullback. This is not a bad setup, risking about 30 cents or so. I'm actually going to go ahead and take this long for a squeeze over highs. I'm actually taking this long for a possible squeeze over these highs. I know my risk. I'm okay with it. I have 3 separate reasons that's a good level to buy. I want to see these buyers hold above 850. I want to see these buyers hold above 850 on BTSI. Let's see if we can get a nice little push up to 913 here. There we go. There we go. Right now, stops are under 850 now. If we drop back below 850, I'm out. All right. I want to see if we can get a new high a day here on BTSI. It's got the volume. It's got the momentum. It's got the activity, right? Traders are here. See if traders want to get this going. 885, 880. I'll give it a few more seconds. Right now, stops are going to be 850. 889, 914. New high day. I'm taking half. I'm taking half at the highs. Stops are back below $9 on my other half. Okay, I'm out. I'm going to go ahead and lock that in right there. All right. Not bad. Not bad little scalp over on BTSI. Not bad. Good time to get out. Little fake out breakout there. Good time to go ahead and take profit towards those highs of 913. Was able to get out of the, yeah, 142 bucks. Not bad. And it wasn't crazy size. I wasn't, 2,000-3,000 shares like I typically am, because it was a pretty higher risk entry, right? It was a pretty higher risk entry. But as I'm looking at the chart, I noticed 3 separate reasons that would have been a good area to take the trade. Why is that? Well, number 1, lower shadow, higher lower shadow, a little bit higher right here. What else do we have? VWAP, respected, respected. 9 EMA, respected, respected. So right there I can see, short-term higher lows. I can see VWAP and 9 EMA support. I see the little decreasing volume pullback. I see volume moving in off the VWAP, off the 9, off those higher lows. Looking like we can get a quick pop-up to the 913s. I'm like, all right, cool. Real quick, 30-cent stop, 500 shares. Let's see if we get a quick little 30 cents out of it. So why did I not take 3,000 shares? Because I wasn't willing to take that kind of risk, right? So that's why I went, a little bit light size. Still able to lock in a couple $100. Well, $100, not a couple hundred. And right now we are halted down. The dotted lines, these are support and resistance price levels. So if you use TD Ameritrade, go to your price level tool, and this is where I mark up my levels of support and my levels of resistance. So VTSI halted down currently. That's exactly why we were talking. Take profit, take profit, take profit. Anything can happen. Don't be greedy. Don't hold the bag. Imagine me not taking profit at resistance, right? Imagine me being greedy, saying, oh, this can go to 10. I'd be down $1 a share right now. I could be down $500. Instead, I went ahead and locked in $100, right? So this is a perfect testament on why you always take profit, why you should know your support and resistance levels. Why it's important to understand all this, because that was a clear indication. Go ahead and, take some profit, right? Yep, very fast. Within literally a minute and a half, the stock dumps $1, a little over $1, gets halted to the downside. That's why you got to be quick and take your profits. What else do we got going on? It is a very, very slow day today, guys. Let's go ahead and look at some larger cap stocks, all right? Let's go ahead and get out of penny land real quick. Let's go ahead and look at maybe, see what some larger cap stocks are doing, like Disney. Disney looks bearish. CCIV, I don't even know why CCIV is still on my watch. That thing done for now. Snapchat looks very bearish today. Very bearish. I may actually be adding to Snapchat here over the next week or two. This is a good level, right? How much have we just came off these prior highs over on Snapchat, right? We came off these prior highs 30%, guys, right? If we can come down to that that 200-day moving average, that would be a good level, right? So I think I'm going to start adding to Snapchat today on my long-term account. I think I'm going to start adding to Snapchat. If we come down to 45, I'll add a little bit more. If we come down to 40, I'll add some more. 35, I'll add some more. Hey, if it comes all the way back down to 29, I'll add some more, right? I'll allocate what I want to invest over the next, month, periodically, week by week, just in case this does continue to come down. Not trying to nail the bottom, just being smart and slow and steadily investing. Do you have to manually type the ticker symbol in both charts, or can you link them? Yep, they're linked. So right now I do have these linked to my watch list. So anytime I'm over here clicking around, it automatically populates for me. So I do have these all linked. How's Tesla doing? Tesla below 6. Facebook. Overall, it's not a super exciting day in the market, is it, guys? Not exciting at all. You got BIOC. That one's selling on off. I'm going to go ahead and take that off the watch list. That one is just looking done for. VTSI. Let's see how this opens up over on VTSI. This is still where traders are at. VTSI is easy to short. We do have support on VTSI back down towards around 680. So if we gap down and we sell off down the 680 quick, I may look to take it for a quick little bounce off today's lows. So right now, it looks like it's more of a scalping day, ladies and gentlemen. What do I mean? Look at how quick these moves are. Up, down, very quick. It's in and out quick, in and out quick. Is this something that right now you want to hold for a long period of time? No, right? VTSI, do you really want to hold this for a long period of time? No. You're giving back your gains. HGEN, this is something you want to hold for a long period of time? I wouldn't even want to be trading this right now. CSCW, same thing. Do you want to hold this for a long period of time? No. You want to look for these great entries, right? Get in, get out quick, make your money, walk away. It's that kind of market today. Market conditions are a little all over the place. Again, VTSI, I am looking for this to gap down out of the halt. Quick sell off to 680. Get a possible entry here over on VTSI. See how quick that was? Whoop, 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 whoop. That was quick. Right down the $7, up 70 cents. That was quick. So right now, if we can still come down to 682 again quickly, I will look for a quick little bounce here on VTSI, down towards around that 682 mark. Right now it's at 755, 760 on the bid. You got resistance at the halt area, the first halt area, remember? 780, 777. Those halt areas are respected as levels of support and resistance. So right now, why are we having a hard time getting back above that level of 777? 780, it was that prior halt area, right? Corey, as a beginner, this is very overwhelming. Yeah, definitely jumping into the live stream and just going through this very quickly, it can seem overwhelming. In my opinion, that's why it's important to be very calm, cool, collective, and just educate yourself. Not dive in and see, a 5-6-year-old, trader in here talking analysis, because it can seem overwhelming. It's learning this first, learning the terms and terminology, right? Understand support resistance, understand halts, understand moving averages, right? Get a good foundation of knowledge. So then when you listen to me, it's all going to click. It's all going to make sense, right? A lot of this terminology that you're overwhelmed with will just be like, oh, I know what he's talking about, right? I know exactly what he's talking about. This makes sense. That's why I think it's very, very important to get a good foundation of knowledge, right? Educate yourself, then jump on in, right? But it's still good to be here because you're going to learn something great today. I have a lesson planned for us, and it's going to be a fun old day. Lesson around 11 o'clock. So yeah, right now, CSCW doesn't look all that great. It looks more or less like a bearish flag over on CSCW if you take a look at it right now. It's definitely consolidating in an upward fashion, right? Big sell-off, consolidating in this upward fashion, right? That's a little bit of a bearish flag. We could definitely see this continue down towards the 185, all right? So CSCW looking more bearish than anything. BTSI getting rejected off the 777 halt area, also the 9 EMA. We do have support down towards around 680 to 675. And if I were to look to take this for a bounce right off these lows, say even as low as 660, where would I want to put my stops? right? I want to see it come down damn near to the penny and bounce. So I would go ahead and give it, you know, probably 10 to 20 cents of breathing room. We come down to 660 and I'm long, probably give it about 10 to 20 cents of breathing room over on VTSI. Right now, still waiting on VTSI, HGEN, building these higher lows. Above 20 now. So HGEN has some potential. Yesterday's top gainer over on HGEN. Break of the VWAP, we can definitely see this move on up. I would risk 10 cents on this play. Over on HGEN off this higher low, back above 20 bucks. I am going to go ahead and go long here on HGEN. Quick little scalp, see if we get the break over VWAP. If we have bids drop back below 20, I'll just go ahead and cut it. I'm not going to risk too much on the play. Want to see buyers hold this above 20. We want to see the break of the VWAP here. Nice little pop in volume. We can see we have a little bit of volume slowly moving in. But this would be the candle that we want to see this go ahead and get over VWAP off a re-break of $20. Okay, $20 is a key level. And just like that, going to go ahead and take profit. Took a little bit there over on HGEN. Just scaling out right now, guys. Just scaling out. Got a nice little pop, HGEN. I want to see this hold above 520. See if we get a pop up to that 2030s. Here we go. Can we break 2030 here? I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit more, and I'm going to bring stops to break even at $20.09 on my other 250 shares. I am going to give this a chance as long as it holds above VWAP. I'm actually going to go ahead and put a hard stop in the system real quick. 2009, 250, stop, sell. I got a stop in the system at 2009. All right. So again, I was long, taking profit off the break, taking profit, stops or break even on the other 250. I'm going to leave a runner just in case. This does get a nice little pop to it. All right. So I do have a runner on the table, HGEN. Come on, baby. You can break 2050. Can you break that 2050? You can do it. I'm going to talk dirty to you, HGEN. You like it when I talk dirty to you, don't you? Oh, you're a bad, bad stock. So bad. So bad, I'm going to take you out to eat. Guess where we're going, HGEN? Going to Dairy Queen. Oh, Dairy Queen, you say? Oh, Dairy Queen. Chicken strip basket. Ooh, French fries with a little bit of gravy. Ooh, keep talking dirty to me. Oh, after that, guess what? We're going to get a milkshake. We're going to get a milkshake and a blizzard. So, guys, I may go ahead and start locking a little bit more up over on HGEN. Fill me, fill me, fill me. Fill me. All right, here we go. I'm out. I'm out on HGEN. Not a bad trade, ladies and gentlemen. Not a bad trade. All right, $385.25. Very, very low risk, right? Very, very low risk. Breaking of the VWAP, re-break at 20. Stops for about 9 cents on that play. About 9 cents. What a beautiful setup there. If you guys don't understand why I took the trade, guys, you don't understand this, let me know. I'll be more than happy to explain it. In hindsight, Should have left more of a runner on the table. I could have locked in another 30 cents. But it's not about being greedy and holding it, right? Lock in profit when you have it. Lock in the profit when you have it. So right now, 267.14 on the day. Not a huge day, but it's not bad, right? CSCW was the one that, hit me hard. VTSI, 140 bucks, 26 cents. And then we have HGEN, 385.25. So putting me at 276. Not bad at all. I'll take it. Green's green. Green is green. Joshua, yeah, absolutely. Off to work. Thanks for the education. Anytime, my man. Anytime. So again, if you guys don't understand the trade, why I took that on HGEN, please let me know, and I'd be more than happy to talk to you guys about it. Right now, we're support on HGEN. Well, back down towards VWAP, back down towards around that previous high that we broke out of, right? So I'd say 220, HGEN. Go take a look at CSCW, starting to fall out of that little bit of a bearish flag that we had. All right, we had a nice little bear flag, starting to get a nice little curl to it. VTSI, how we looking on VTSI? Very light volume right now, right? Very light volume at this point in time. So it looks like everybody's shifted on over to HGEN. So this is where our focus is going to be. What did we say this morning? I can only imagine how many shorts are in this stock, as it's easy to short on a lot of the big brokers, right? The higher we move, the more volume we may see move in, right? As shorts are underwater and they start having to cover their positions. So I do want to see a little pullback first, right? I do want to re-enter. I do like HGEN. I do think it has a lot of potential, but I'm not buying at $20, at $21. I'm not buying up here, right? Where's support? Let's really look at this. Where is intraday support? It's all the way back down towards around that VWAP, towards that high, right? Back down towards around that 2022. Does it have to come all the way back down towards around 2022? No, but I'm not going to be buying it at 21. I don't care how high it goes, right? I'm not in a position to risk $1 just in case it does come back down. Yesterday you were using the 5-minute and now you're on 1. How do you make your decisions? Jeff, honestly, I was in 5-minute pre-market. The only reason I switched to a 1 is when we were looking at VTSI. And I honestly just forgot to switch it back. I forgot to switch it back to a 5. Now here's the thing, like, if I'm on a 1-minute and I'm still liking what I'm seeing on a 1-minute, it doesn't seem like it's just too much choppiness. It looks clean like a 5-minute, right? Because the reason, again, I go from a 1-minute to a higher time frame like a 5 is really clean things up, right? When we start to see setups, they give you a little bit more clarity and validation on higher time frames. If I still have that feeling, right, on a 1-minute, I'll use a 1-minute. So really, it's just personal preference. There's no right or wrong answer. 1 minute, you could use a 30-second if you want to. It depends on what your style, your edge, all that good stuff. So again, when we saw the halt, I took it off a 5-minute to a 1, mark up the halt area. Since I've been looking at these two stocks, VTSI and HGEN, I still have enough clarity. I still have enough validation for my trades, even on a 1-minute chart. So right now, there's no need for me to go to a 2, 3, or a 5, right? I'm okay with trading the 1 minute right now. The second I want to clean things up, get a little bit more clarity, is when I'll start increasing the time frames. Again, it's personal preference. There is no right or wrong answer whatsoever. Obviously, the higher the time frame, when you see a setup, the more validation that you get. The odds in your favor increase for that setup to work if you see it on the higher time frame versus the lower time frame. Okay. Let me go ahead and get these scanners up here for you. Absolutely. I greatly appreciate that. You know what's crazy, like growing up? I don't know if you guys know my story, but this isn't story time, but I wasn't the public speaker, the one that got the reports and stood in front of the class. I wasn't the very sociable person. I was very, like, socially awkward. I was like the outsider. I kind of just did my own thing with my own group of friends and stuff like that. I was never like the class clown, the super confident, like, let me talk all the time person. So looking back at my past and how I grew up to where I'm at now and how I'm just a talkative person and how you say I teach well, and I've gotten that from almost everybody I've ever worked with. Man, you just have a way of teaching. I don't know how. I have no idea why I'm good at teaching. And everybody says that I'm really good at breaking things down and giving examples. I have no idea why, but I'll take it as a gift. I'll take it as that's a reason for me to do what I do because I'm good at it, right? I don't know why. I'm not going to sit here and try and figure it out. I'll just take it as a blessing, as a gift that I'm just naturally good at this. And I'm glad that you guys see that value and that you guys are learning as well. So, GSX. Let's go take a look at something else, right? The market's kind of slow today. GSX, what we got going on? All right, so if we really look at GSX, all right, what are we starting to see here? And we got a little bit of volume, but look at the last 2 days, right? Look at the last 2 days, substantial volume. Today, we've only traded 9 million shares over on GSX, right? 9 million shares on GSX. What's the average daily volume? 9 million shares. So is it safe to say this is substantial volume on GSX? No, it's average. This is average volume on GSX. What are we seeing here? Well, why is this starting to move up, right? This is a little bit of a dead cat bounce. You're like, what? A dead cap? Like no cap, or dead cat? A dead cat, like meow, right? The analogy comes from you throw a dead cat off a like a skyscraper or a building, it'll bounce a few times before it splats. So when we have stocks dumping and selling off, eventually we'll get buyers move in off the lows and it'll bounce a little bit. It's simply called a dead cat bounce. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. Again, not on substantial volume though. Not on substantial volume. Right now, if we look at resistance, where do we have resistance? Right where we're at, 34.58, up towards around that pre-market high of 34.73. So would we want to be going long right now on GSX? Nope, not until it breaks and holds resistance. What else is over 34.70? $35 natural resistance, the whole number. So would we want to be buyers up here towards this level of resistance? Probably not. Probably not, right? We want to sit back and wait for this to break over that key level, hold and respect that support, then we could look to make some entries. So HGEN is still my #1 watch. I am actually going to throw up a fib on this just to get an idea if one of these levels are going to be respected. Knockout 902. He was a skater boy. How did you know? Unless you went to school with me, and this is someone that I actually went to school with. Yeah, yeah, I actually did. I was a skater boy. I skateboarded a lot. I hung out with the bad crowd of kids, right? Smoking cigarettes at 14. I didn't think I had anything going for me in life. Never went to college, right? Went to jail. I mean, you name it. I had nothing going for me. And I was like, I got to get out of this shitty town. Terrible Hood, Indiana. I got to get away. I got to seclude myself from this just negative energy town that I'm in and these people and their mindsets that they have. I want to be better. And I don't see anybody really successful or really growing in that very constricted town. So I got out. And that's when my life changed. Met my beautiful wife, had a beautiful daughter, moved to Florida, and it was the best decision I ever made. Knockout 902, I swear you probably did go to school with me. If you, I mean, you don't just hit that on the head. You don't just hit it on the head. He was a skater boy. Unless you're just good at guessing. All right, guys. So right now we had a 50% retrace on HGEN. A little bit of that 50% retracement on HGEN. I'm going to go ahead and switch this one to a 2-minute chart now. Clean things up a little bit. Tesla is trying to get a nice little push to it. Where are those pre-market highs on Tesla? Pre-market highs right around that 604.34, right? Right around that 604.34. Where did we come up to? 604.34. Indianapolis? Hey, Indianapolis is better than Terre Haute. I don't have any problem with Indiana, right? Avon, Plainfield, Indy. Like, a lot of my family live up there. I got a problem with Terre Haute. Terre Haute, man, I tell you what, it's just... Oh, it's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Fort Wayne. Hey, Corey. Fort Wayne. My wife actually went to Bishop Lures in Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne's good. We got a lot of people from Indiana here. All right, that's cool. Yeah, so my wife actually went to Bishop Lures with Jalen and Rod Smith. Kevin Karameyer as well came out of Bishop Lures as well for the Rays, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, she's from Fort Wayne. So right now, HGEN #1 watch. Move up on volume. Starting to consolidate sideways, right? Where's it consolidating above? Well, if you take a fib off the move, right? So we have a move higher. Go from low to high, drag it up, drop it. Where did this pull back to? It did a 50% pullback, right? It retraced 50%. Now we're consolidating. So we'll just go ahead and keep this one on watch and see if it can hold this consolidation. Possibly break out of this what could be a little bit of a downtrend here. Maybe we have an opportunity over on HGEN. Very small world, right? Very small. Do you know the last name? Boretsky. That's her maiden name, Boretsky. It'd be crazy if you're like, oh my gosh, I know Steve. What? Look at that, guys. CSCW. You guys are curious on what a bull flag or a bear flag is? And take a bull flag and flip it 180. We know a bull flag, right, is when a stock pushes up, consolidates, right, and breaks out. It's an extension, right? Push up, flag, continuation. Bull flags are continuation patterns. So let's go ahead and delete that. So you take a bull flag and do a complete 180. Get your leg down, consolidation, right? Consolidation, crack. So take a bull flag, flip it 180, bear flag, criteria was met, sold off, consolidated sideways, cracked that slide up trend, getting its leg lower. And you can actually use Fibonacci extensions on these bearish flags, right? So you can actually use fib extensions to get an idea of where this could go down to, right? So this suggests that we could see 160 over on CSCW. Again, I don't really use fibs on penny stocks, but just to give you an example, that's when you would use a Fibonacci extension, is to get an idea of where this could come down to, right? Go ahead and remove that. An 03. Gotcha. Yeah. She wasn't even there in 03. I think it was like 06, 07. From Jizzy. From good old Jizzy. How's VTSI looking? HGEN. Guys, do you guys enjoy the market today? I don't enjoy the market today. I mean, there was a couple good setups, but man, what a slow day. CSCW down towards around this 185, and that was a breakout level on CSCW, so it may bounce. It's a little risky trying to take this bounce here, but 185 could be a bounce level for, you know, maybe 10 to 15 cents. If it does, try and retest $2. I'm not touching it, though. Like I said, I don't like CSCW. It was choppy Wednesday. It's choppy today. I ain't touching it. Not a chance. Yeah, Maddie, it sucks. Yeah, not every day is rainbows and unicorns and super hot in the stock market, right? But you got to know where that opportunity is, right? The opportunity was on VTSI, HGEN. If I would have just listened to myself this morning, I'm not trading CSCW. You know, we'd be up about $500 on the day. Disney, Snap. Yeah, everything's very slow. Slow and sideways. Everybody's like, Josh, not again, man. You did the jackhammer yesterday. You sung the Q-tip. Just stop it. Just stop. All right, so right now I'm going to be looking at HGEN. Apple is fast in the wrong directions. So yeah, you just got this nice little downtrend here on Apple, right? We can see that, no reason to take this long. If we look at it, we've had no indication that we were going to reverse, right? Look at all the highs. Here's a high, 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 lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. It looked like it was going to try and put in a higher low right here, right? It looked like it was going to try and put in this higher low, but again, we don't get confirmation until we get the higher high, and we never got it. So in that scenario, if you were long Apple, just learn something from this, right? Until we get the higher low and the higher high, we should not be taking it because we're trading against the trend. We do not want to be trading against the trend. So I'm personally going to be taking some Apple. I told myself a couple months ago that I want to be buying Apple down towards around this 116, possibly a little bit around 117, right? We got our 200-day moving average. We have our prior bounce level, right? This could be a big double bottom. It also couldn't be, right? But I'm not going to go 100%, and I'll probably go 33% of my funds that I want to allocate. We come down to 110, 33% again. If we come down to 100, I'll continue to average in. Apple is a long-term, high-growth stock. It'll be around in 20 years. Come on now, right? They're innovative. They're always developing new things. They will be around. This stock will be above 145 at some point. So we know that it's a good investment. So you can't be wrong for owning Apple. But if you're like, man, I own it at 145, what do I do? Own a little bit more, right? Average in. Bring that cost basis down, right? Buy companies that you like. Buy companies that you shop at, right? Apple is a very great company to invest in long term. MBRX. Yeah, MBRX is just stuck between these two moving averages. Look at the daily chart, right? Our low of day was the 13, the 13 SMA. And our high of day is this 50-day. So right now, we need to get through one of these levels. If we look at the intraday chart, we do have room back up to those highs of 472. Support right now, I'd put you around 435. So right around 435 support. We have room to 472. Low a day was down towards around 408. So MBRX is trying to get a little move back over VWAP. Ideally, you want to see this now hold that previous high of 440, right? So if we can hold 440, we might get a nice big push to 472 over on MBRX. RT, what's your take on HA candles versus regular? Akanashi? Correct me if I'm wrong, but are you talking like Hakanashi candles? HA? Yeah. Hakanashi. Hakanashi! They're good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they clean everything up. They give you a clear visual representation on the trend. If you were more of a long-term, throughout the day, like maybe 30 minutes to an hour all day, or even a swing trader, yeah, you could definitely use the Hakanashi candle. But as a day trader, I didn't feel like they worked, right? Because they are delayed candles. If you look up what they are, they're actually a delayed candle. So they actually, if I'm not mistaken, they take the previous two candles, average, that populates an open. So before you even get new data, you're like a minute behind, right? So they're not good for day trading, right? Because if the stock dumps, right, it's not going to populate for another minute on the Hakanashi candle. If I'm mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I've read, they're about a minute delayed as far as when they populate. So again, if you're a day trader and every second counts, right, I don't recommend. Use normal candlesticks. That's what 95% of other traders use, or just your normal candlestick. But if you're a longer term trader, maybe say swing trade investing, then yeah, absolutely. That'll give you a clear representation of the trend, the overall trend, to help you stay in trades a little bit longer. So hopefully that gives you some clarification as far as my opinion on the Hakanashi candles. So I am looking at VTSI for maybe one trade coming up. I want to see a break over 750. Right, so we have this low. We have this lower low. Back above the 9. We're trying to put in what looks like what could be a higher low. Like we just gave you the example on Apple. Wait for the higher high. That's a great confirmation. Where would that higher high be? I'd put it around 757. So if we start to see a lot of volume move in, we see this ramping on up into the 750, 757. I will look to jump in for a quick scalp for a possible push up to $8. But right now I'm not buying this because this could continue to build these lower highs and continue to sell off. All right, market is slow. So we actually may just do an early lesson and dive out of here a little bit early today. If it's hot, we're here, right? When on a slow day, it can be quite boring. And here's one thing I want to talk to you guys about. As a new trader, right? I assume a majority of you are newer because you're here, right? You're here to learn. So when the market's slow like this, the worst thing you can do to yourself is to sit around and hunt for trades. To sit here and be like, where's the next stock at that's going to move? Where is it, right? When the market's slow, take it at that. It's freaking slow. The market is not fun today. You know what? I'm done. I'm done. Just leave. All right? Just leave. There's no reason to sit around and hunt. There's no reason to sit around and hunt for trades. That's when you're going to burn yourself. You're gonna burn yourself. You're gonna lose money. You're gonna take unnecessary trades, okay? When the market's slow, the market's sideways, it's choppy, and we can say, hey, the market's not hot. The market's really not too fun to be in today, right? Walk away. Come back after lunch, 2, 3 o'clock. Is the market hot? Is there opportunity? Great. If not, don't put yourself in a position to lose unnecessary money. It's hard. A lot of people take this as an addiction. They're addicted to trading. They always got to be trading something. Sometimes the best trade is no trade at all. All right? Sometimes the best trade is not taking a trade. All right? So with that being said, if you have that mindset, you still deal with emotions, and you still want to trade, take today as a learning lesson. Today is not a hot day. Right? The market's pretty soft now. The market's pretty much dying off. You know, $267 on the day, I'll take it. I'd rather take $267 than walk away with $0. Because I don't need to hit home runs every single day. I don't need $2,000 days. I don't need $3,000 days all the time. If I can be consistent, $200-300, $200-300, $200-300, $200-300, but every now and then I'm rewarded because of my discipline and because of my consistency, that's when I make great months, right? Do the math. There's usually 20 trading days in a month. Let's say you're averaging $250 a day times, let's say 18 days on average. Some days are 5, some days you lose 200, right? On average, you're generating $200 to $300 a day, right? That's $250. So 250 times 18, that's $4,500. And that's 18 trading days. Times 12, that's $54,000. Now, a lot of people say, that's not life-changing. That's not a lot of money, right? I had someone comment like 120 grand is not life-changing. Listen, I was making 80, 90 grand a year, slaving in the car business, slaving, right? 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week, dealing with bullshit. I would take a pay cut. I would be okay with 50 grand a year to do this for 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. I'm working 10 hours a week to make 50 grand a year. That's how you have to think of it. You're not making 6 figures, but you're also not putting in 60 hours a week. You can put in 2 to 3 hours a day, 10 to 15 hours a week, make 50 grand from your house. Now you can write all this off. You're paying less taxes. You're paying capital gain taxes, right? So you're actually coming out on top, in my opinion, by taking a pay cut, especially if you love doing this and you can do what you want, have more freedom, right? Being able to enjoy life is more important than working for money, right? Giving your time for money. That sucks, right? having to give away 60 hours of your life a week for money. This seems better than me. Even if I only made 50 grand a year, but I'm putting in 10 to 15 hours a week, I'm basically paying myself to have more freedom, more time with my wife, my daughter, to do what I want to do. So that is the beauty of stock trading. You don't have to make 2 grand a day. You don't have to make $500,000 a year, right? If you're okay with making 50 grand a year, working 10 hours a week from anywhere in the world, whatever you want to do, that is success. No matter what anybody tells you, you are successful. You are doing something the average person doesn't do. You're an entrepreneur, okay? So next time you hear someone say, oh, 100 grand's not life-changing, to some people it can be. And honestly, if I was only making 50 grand a year, I'd be happy with it. Because I have more time to enjoy life, right? And I'm not giving away my time for money. And my time is very important to me because not every minute is guaranteed. So, a little motivational talk for you guys today. Orlando, going through the Ultimate Day Trading Starter Kit course. Great course. Thanks, man. That's why I put it together. It took me 4 months. 4 long months to put that together. Almost 20 hours of content. 50 chapters. I mean, we talk about everything, and you're not paying 3-4 grand for it. It's the beautiful thing. You're not paying $500 for it. You're not paying $200 for it. You're getting it for $99. You're getting $1,000 content for the least amount of money possible. That's why our tagline, all right, is making proper trading education more affordable. Because the new trader's left with an ultimatum. Got a course, I got the stock market, $1,000. What choice do they take? $1,000 in the market because they have better odds of getting a return on their money versus sinking $1,000 of their hard-earned money into a course, right? That's why this statistic is 95% of traders fail, because they choose the wrong decision. They make the wrong decision. They choose investing as a new trader and they end up losing money. And they quit, they walk away, statistic 95%. But if people would just educate themselves first, the statistic would be much lower than 95%. So how am I going to change the statistic? How am I going to change the trading industry? Giving you $1,000 content for less than $100. Basically, the Ross Camerons and the Tim Sykes of the world are going to hate me. And I guarantee everybody follows suit in the future. Because this is the best course out there. It is the most in-depth course out there. It is the least expensive course out there, right? I am changing the trading industry. I'm going to change the statistic. You know, more people can be successful with this if they weren't left with that ultimatum. All right, so low, lower low, slightly higher low above 7 over on VTSI. Could be a nice little double bottom here. Still not in. Still not liking the overall market conditions. HGEN bounced off the previous high. That would have been a good trade. But I'm okay with my $200 on the day. You know what I mean? I'm okay with it. I don't need to overtrade. Right? I've already taken 3 trades on the day. I don't need to overtrade. I'm okay with $200. I'm cool with that. But if I see a great opportunity, you best believe I'm jumping in on it. CSCW ended up getting the bounce off 185. So analysis on point today, right? You can safe to say that, analysis is on point. With that being said, VTSI is still the one with volume. So this is the one to watch. I do like VTSI. I'm not going to lie, guys. I do like VTSI. We're back above. We put in a higher high. I want to see this hold above 740. If we can, I may scalp this real quick just so you guys know. May look to scalp this if we can hold 740. I'm not in. Not in. I want the least amount of risk possible. Still not in. Watch it go. Looks like it's going to go here. Looks like it may actually get that pop. You know what? I'm going to go small size. Super small size. 250 shares, looking for the continuation here. So, very small size, very tight risk. No reason to take $200-$300 loss. I'll risk like 25, 30 bucks. If I can make another quick $60, $70, I'm cool with that. But we definitely do have a lot of potential here on VTSI. So finger on the trigger, 250 shares, looking for a push up the VWAP. Looking for a push up towards around $8 over on VTSI. Want to see this hold above 745. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just get out of it. So I got out for a $20 loss. So I'm good on the day, guys. I'm good. So I'll walk away with 240. So let's go ahead and do this. It's 10:38 in the market. We all know what we're looking at. VTSI. If VTSI can hold above 745, has room to 8. CSCW is dead. HGEN is dead. The market is pretty slow, pretty light. So in my opinion, I don't see there's any reason to really be jumping in on trades today. If you guys like a setup, take it. If you guys agree that the market is pretty slow, sideways, you're not digging it, you don't want to put yourself in a position to lose money, don't put yourself in a position to lose money. With that being said, I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes. Go ahead and type up what you would like the lesson to be about today. Yesterday, you guys said you wanted the lesson to be about level 2. We did a pretty good level 2 lesson. So today, I will give you guys the floor once again. If you have any recommendations on what you want to learn about, please let me know, and I will be right back with you. And that was quick and back. So while you guys do that, I'm going to just scan through some stocks and make sure we're not missing anything. Some large cap stuff. Plug, P-L-U-G. If you throw this on a 5, you got a little flag here on Plug. This is a quick trade. I do like P-L-U-G a lot here. So pulled back, decreasing volume into the 9 EMA, consolidating sideways off a nice little uptrend. This is a continuation pattern, so I am going to go ahead and give PLUG a chance here. I'll give it about 20 cents. Looking for a rebreak of 32 doll hairs. I just came across Plug. I do like the setup that we're seeing. Again, push, consolidation, 5-minute flag into the 9 EMA. This is like one of my go-to setups. This is an 80-20 setup, so I do like this. And that's why I went ahead and took a little starter position long. Want to see this break 32 here. All right, we need to re-break these highs on PLUG. So that high, we need to re-break 32.20 here. This has to break 32.20 to get the next leg up to 32.50, okay? If you guys are in on this with me, you have to get the 32.20 break. My stops are going to be break even at this point in time. Risk-free trade. Let's see if we get that flag break over 32.20. We got 32.13 on the bid, 32.14, 32.16 on the ask. So it's moving in the right direction. Come on, let's get that 32.20. Can we get that 32.20, baby? Can we get that 32.20? We can't get it here momentarily. I may go ahead and take a little bit of profit to get paid. There's 32.20. There's 32.20. We tried. I'm going to take a little bit of profit there. I didn't see that big push through. So I'm going to take a little bit, be smart here. And I'm going to hold the rest, see if we get that 32.50 here on PLUG. Nice little 5-minute flag. Again, pulling back, decreased volume to the 9 EMA. One of my go-to setups. Something that I teach you guys in the Ultimate Day Trading Starter Kit. So 32.25 is our next level. There's 32.25. Can we build up on 32.25? There's 32.26. There we go. We're definitely moving in the right direction. Here we go. 32.30. Stops are now going to be underneath 32.20. So I'm just scaling out. Or I'm scaling out. Right now I'm up about 25, 30 cents a share. 32.20, I'll go ahead and walk away. Lock in my profit. Lock in about 100, 150 bucks. 32.23, 24. It's got potential. Do not want to do that. I almost fat fingered my sell order and I would have actually went short. That's no bueno. Got these fat fingers over here. So I have 250 left on the table, PLUG. Looking for these buyers to move in over that 32.25. I'm going to go ahead and take profit here. Quick 100 bucks. Taking me up to 357.64 on the day. I'm happy with that. That was a killer setup. I loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. So stops and stop losses. How did I find Plug? Plug's been on my watch list for a very, very long time. This is something that I actually want to invest in as we've sold off so much from the highs. And I believe PLUG is a great company. We're down 60% off the highs, approaching prior resistance, 200-day moving average support. It's something I've been watching for quite a long time. I just happened to click on it because it was in my watch list. I saw the 5-minute flag with the pullback to the 9, and that right there was just a go-to strategy that I really, really liked. So I went ahead and got in without any hesitation. I knew my stops, and we were rocking and rolling. Maddie, is your broker behind? No. Everything's good to go today. Yesterday it was because I submitted a wire out to pay myself, and I fat-fingered my wire to where it took my equity. So I had to call them up and cancel the wire and resubmit a different wire. I accidentally tried wiring 25,000 instead of 2,500. So that was why they were assuming I was trying to close my account. I'm like, yeah, not happening. Not happening. So we're good to go. We are good to go. What do I think about SPY for the day? Spizai. The Spizai. We have 393.34 support. So I would say we are bullish until we drop below 393.34, right? Where can we go? Well, we have room back up to 396.24. So I would say, yeah, overall, it doesn't look terrible. As long as we hold 393.34, that's the low a day, surprisingly. Also happens to be past chart support resistance. We do have room back up to yesterday's highs in the 396s. All right. Oh, the stream is probably 15 minutes behind. So that's probably what you're seeing there. On your end, you may have about a 10 to 15 second delay. So that could be it. Yeah, on my end, real time, everything's good to go. Thank you for the live trade. Helped a lot. Absolutely. I'm glad I could help. Hopefully that makes sense, right? When we looked at PLUG, right? Why that was a really damn good low-risk setup. I mean, next time you see a big, nice 5-minute move that's flagging into the 9 EMA, woo, man, I love those setups. Now, it wasn't a super aggressive move. You know, we're talking about 50 cents for my entry, but 50 cents is 50 cents. 1,000 shares, it's $500. But it is a pretty expensive stock. PLUG is optionable, right? So if you wanted to trade options on that, you could have still got half of your delta. So imagine you were buying PLUG and you were buying a 32.5 strike, right? The delta is 51, so that's $50 per dollar move. You would have made 50 cents. So you could have made $25 per contract, right? About 25% return on the 32.5 strike if you were actually trading options, even on that 50-cent move on PLUG if you restricted the capital, all right? Do a refresh, maybe. Oh, the reason it was spot on yesterday is I was streaming in low latency. Today I'm in ultra low latency and I'm pushing high quality feed over to YouTube. So that could be it. There's a lot of variables when it comes to YouTube and your internet connection, where you're pulling from, how I'm pushing the content to you. So tomorrow we'll try the low latency again and see if low latency works. So everybody wants to talk about stops versus stop loss. Stops and stop losses are the same thing, guys. What's a stop? Where you want to get stopped out at, right? Where your risk tolerance is. Stop loss. It's putting a hard order in the system. So you can have two different things. You can have a mental stop, right? And you can have a hard stop. But no matter what, you always need to have stop losses, right? You cannot enter a trade without determining where you're going to cut your losses if the price comes down, right? As you've seen all of my trades, all of the analysis, what I'm looking at, the type of setup, the credibility behind the setup, what my entry would be, what I'm looking for as a target, what my stop loss is going to be, right? That is me planning a trade. I'm never going to enter a trade without explaining why to you guys, right? Because how are you going to learn? I could say, buy here, buy here, buy here. And you're like, why did I just buy this? Because Josh told me to. No, right? No. I'm going to explain everything as thoroughly as possible so you can see like, oh, that makes sense. That's a 5-minute flag. I can see how it pulled back to the 9 EMA. He said he was making his entries here, which he did. I see where he was putting his stops. He explained why his stop was where it was at, and his target is being where it's at, right? That all makes sense. I can trade this setup by myself now. That's the point of me doing this, right? Not just to give you the answer to everything, all right? So, how do you determine your stop loss, all right? Well, the number one thing that you have to do when determining your stop loss, well, it does come down to the chart, right? Support, resistance, previous lows, VWAP, 9 EMA. There are a lot of variables, all right? Every stock is different. You can't just say, my stop's 25 cents. My stop's 25 cents. You can't have that broad rule because a stop of 25 cents on PLUG may be too tight, right? Maybe too small. You may need to give it more breathing room. However, a stop loss on CSCW is way too much, right? So you can't just say, my stop is going to be 25 cents. Because if you're trading a dollar stock, your stop is 25%, and that is way too much. So, how do you determine what your stop is besides looking at the chart? So take the chart out of the equation for a second, right? How do you determine your stop? Well, number one, how much are you willing to lose on the trade? Always ask yourself that. How much am I willing to lose on this trade to see if I'm right? That's what professionals do. How much am I willing to lose? And you're going to look at the chart and be like, number one, I'll lose $200 because this is a damn good setup, right? $200 because I love this setup. So I'm cool with losing $200. Now, where is my stop loss at? All right, so on this particular trade, I'd want to put my stops underneath the previous low at 31.64. All right, so now I know the dollar amount. 31.64 is the price at which I will sell my position. I'm willing to lose $200 on this trade. Right now, the stock is at, let's just assume it's at 184. So that means if I make an entry at 31.84 and my stop is 31.64, that's 20 cents based on my entry, based on my stop. All right. The second part, can I at least get 20, or can I at least get a 2-to-1 setup here? Can I at least get, what is that? 40 cents a reward. Look at the chart. Yes, it's possible. Okay, cool. So I have my entry, I have my target, I have my stop based on the chart. You know how much you're willing to lose on the trade. You've already told yourself you're okay with losing $200. Where's the second part to that? Let's say you say, okay, I'm okay with losing $200, but you look at the chart. You say, honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I'm okay with losing $200 on this trade. And you're going to say, why, Josh? Why are you not okay with losing $200? Because the setup's not that nice. You just took a second to reassess the chart, to realize the chart sucks. The trade doesn't look all that good. You're not okay with losing $200. So what are you going to do? That's going to allow you to sit back on those hands like, yeah, you know what? It's not a good trade. I don't want to lose $200, right? Or another question you could ask is, okay, if you're not willing to lose $200 because the setup's not that great, but it's still decent, how much are you willing to risk? I do like 50 to 100, right? I do 50 to 100. So you're giving you a chance to really plan your trade properly. So again, okay, how much are you willing to lose, right? $200. What's my entry? What's my stop based on the chart? What's my target? Is it at least a 2-to-1? Is that possible? Yes, cool. Size. How many shares can I get to not exceed my stop loss? So if I'm making a 31.84 entry, I'm risking 20 cents. I told myself I'm not going to lose more than $200. How many shares can you get? Come on, guys. How many shares can you get? If that was your plan and you did that and you did your analysis, you did your due diligence, and you planned your trade like a professional, how many shares based on that example could you guys get? Comes down to math, right? Comes down to math. If you bought 1,000 shares at 20 cents, what is that? It's $200, right? Grab your calculator. 1,000 times 0.20, 200, all right? 100 shares times 0.20 is $20, right? So you'll get the hang of it. 100 shares at 20 cents, $20. 1,000 shares at 20 cents, $200. 10,000 shares at 20 cents, $2,000, right? So based on that, I've determined how many shares I can get, right? I'm not buying 2,000 shares. I'm not blind buying 3,000 shares or 500 shares. I know based on my entry, based on my exit, based on how much I'm willing to risk to see if I'm right, how many shares I can get. That's how you professionally build a trade plan. That's how you professionally determine your stop loss, how much you're willing to risk. I know some traders to this day, I bought this stock, I had a stop loss, I lost 1,000, I was only cool with losing $500. Did you not ask yourself how many shares are you allowed to buy to not exceed that loss? No, that's crucial. That's so important to get into the mindset. That eliminates a few things. That eliminates emotional trading, right? What are you emotional about, guys? What are you emotional about? You already told yourself you're okay with losing X amount of dollars. You've determined how many shares you can get. You've determined your loss. You're professionally planned. What are you emotional about? You can take that trade without hesitation, right? I'm in. You're not fearful. You have nothing to fear because you know what the end result's going to be, worst case scenario. You know that worst case scenario, you get stopped out, you lose $200, but you've already assumed you've lost $200. You've already told yourself, I'm okay with losing $200. Eliminates emotions, eliminates fear, eliminates hesitation, makes you a far greater trader. being in that mindset. Not a lot of people teach this side of trading. They teach strategies, indicators. No one teaches psychology, mindset, thinking like a professional. All right? That's crucial. That is 90% of your success is what's in here. What we just talked about. That is 90% of your success. So in that same situation, if I was cool with losing $200, but I would have bought 5,000 shares and I got stopped out at 20 cents, I would have lost how much? 5,000 shares times that 20. I would have lost $1,000. Now you're emotional. Fuck. Ugh, I'm so mad. Punch a screen. Revenge trade. I just lost so much money. I was only cool $200. I lost $1,000. Buy it. Oh, I'm down again. Buy it. I'm down again. Fuck this. I blew up an account. All because you didn't do your due diligence. All because you didn't ask yourself, how much am I willing to lose? And what does that equate to in the form of share size based on the stop loss that I've determined? 20 cents, based on the example. You have to always go back and ask yourself, how many shares am I allowed to buy? Be disciplined. How many shares am I allowed to buy based on that criteria? And that right there, guys, you're going to excel your trading 10x. All right, excel my trading 10x. You're going to take less trades because you're going to realize half the trades that you want to trade suck by asking yourself those questions. So you're going to trade less, right? When a stock comes down to your area, you're going to be able to click that buy button without hesitation. So you're going to get in when you want to get in, not 20, 30 cents too late, not 20, 30 cents too early, to the fucking penny, because you're trading without hesitation. If you get stopped out, you're not emotional. You don't care because you already told yourself you're cool with taking that loss. So stops, stop losses, trade plans, getting in the right mindset, thinking like a pro. This is how I do it, and this really took me from an average trader to an exceptional trader when I started just asking myself these simple questions every single day, every single trade without fail. All right? So hopefully that gives you some good perspective on how that mind needs to be working while you're in the market. Yeah, so you do a bill. You do a stop buy limit. All right, so just like placing a stop loss. All right, just like placing a stop limit. Right, a stop loss is a stop market. All right, so this is going to be a stop market. This is going to be a stop limit. I don't actually see here. Yeah, it'd be a stop limit. I don't see it on Lightspeed. I don't use it, but it is doable. On TD, they have it. So basically, you would do a stop buy. So basically, you're putting a stop order in the system, but it triggers a buy. So let's say you only want to be filled if plug gets to 33.50 to the buy side. You're looking to trade a breakout, but you don't want a market order in. You want it to fill automatically. You would go in and set a stop buy limit, right? So once the price hits 33.50, it would fill you to the long side. So a stop buy limit order. TD uses those. Some other brokers, I don't see it here on Lightspeed. I'm going to probably just never set it up because I don't use those types of orders. NNDM, yeah. NNDM. Sure, they're right. NNDM, yes. Clear nano dimensions, NNDM. Let me ask you this, Mark. What do you think about it? Right? What do you think about NNDM? Anything you see that you like? Anything you see you don't like? What are your thoughts on it? Okay, just been on the watch list. So what I would say, number one, just doing some technicals real quick, is, this is all technicals, by the way. This is not fundamentals. This could have phenomenal fundamentals, right? I don't know. I'm not a fundamental guy. I'm a day trader. I swing trade. I invest off technical analysis. So what do I see here? Big move to the upside, right? From 123, 133, all the way up to 1801. Stocks pulling back. Stocks are allowed to pull back. Stocks need to pull back, right? It's very, very healthy. But where do they pull back to, right? Well, this is a trending stock. Since we know that it's a trending stock, we can draw a Fibonacci retracement on it. So boom, Fibonacci retracement. These are levels where the stock could pull back to. And one thing at this point in time looking that is beautiful about this, look at the sell-off. Where did it bounce? Before we got the first bounce, the 50% fib. When it bounced, where was resistance? The 38.2 fib, right? Where are we holding up right now? The 61.8 fib. So we can see multiple times this Fibonacci retracement has been honored. One thing that I personally like, that I learned from my past mentor on fibs, is called the OTE zone, the optimal trade entry zone. He used to work for an institution, right? Institutions are the ones that really came up with this. The OTE zone, the optimal trade entry zone, is the midpoint between the 78.6 fib and the 61.8 fib, right? That is the optimal trade entry zone for institutions. What did we see here on NNDM, right? We see that 38.2 is respected, 50 was respected, the 61.8 is currently being respected. But what did it do before bouncing back up? It dipped into the OTE zone, the optimal trade entry zone. And this area also happened to be prior resistance, prior support. So with that being said, we pulled back into the OTE zone. We bounced. We're pulling back again, possibly putting in a higher low off the 61.8 fib. If I were to invest in this, this would be a great area to go ahead and start. All right, this would be a great area. Now, not 100%, you have to allocate, because what could happen? We could lose the 61.8 fib. We could lose that 769 price level. Where would it come down to? It could come back down and retest that low there, right? The prior low that dipped into the OTE zone, it could. It could also come down to that 200-day moving average, right? So with that being said, I like it. I like the push. I like the healthy pullback into the OTE zone. I like the push back up into the 38.2 fib. Tells me that institutions or traders are respecting this Fibonacci retracement, right? Pulled back to the 61.8, could be a higher low for the next leg up, back up to 18 bucks, right? Now, if you can go in and do a fundamental analysis on this stock, and you can apply those fundamentals with these technicals, you have an even better edge in your favor, right? So as far as NNDM, it's not bad at all. It's actually really nice. I like the few different pieces of separate data that tell me that, you know, technicals are being respected. Institutions seem to be involved, because really institutions are the only ones that really know about that OTE zone. Not a lot of traders talk about it. Honestly, I don't think I've ever heard a trader talk about it. But I learned it from him, and he's a Canadian, and he used to, you know, work at a big hedge fund up there. Nope. Orlando, I do not. I do not have a percentage gain per trade. All right. For example, buy XYZ at 10 and 5% gain, I'll sell half. I don't do percentages because every stock's different. 5% on Apple is different than 5% on VTSI. 5% on VTSI is different than 5% on PLUG. So I don't think percentages. I think dollar amounts, right? Looking at the chart, the technicals. Where's resistance? Where's support? How much dollars can I get? How many dollars or pennies can I get out of this stock, right? What's my stop loss in regards to dollars and pennies? But yes, it's always great to be mindful of 2 to 3% max loss on any given trade. 2 to 3% of my account is my max loss on any given trade. So I know what my account size is. I know what my max loss is. So I know when I'm getting into a trade and I'm asking myself how much I'm willing to lose, I know what that amount caps out at, right? Take that last lesson that we just did, that last example of everything. I know what 2 to 3% is. I know 2 to 3% is $1,500 to $2,000. So I know when planning my trade that my max loss on that trade cannot exceed $1,500 to $2,000, right? And now I know based on that dollar amount how many shares I can get. So it's not about percentages to me. Some people trade percentages, but a percentage is different with every single stock, right? So I look solely at the technicals, how it moves, support, resistance, stops, targets. I look at the dollar amounts. We'll do a couple more Q&As. We did our lesson, Q&As. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the content today. Do me a favor, smash that like button if you haven't, all right? Smash the freaking like button, right? Go over, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button as well. Hit the notification bell so anytime we upload a video or go live, you guys are notified. And on top of that, if you're not following me on social media, go follow me on social media. Facebook, you can follow my personal page, Josh Howerton. I got 3 accounts. Look at the one with me holding my daughter. You can follow us at Alpha Day Trading. Follow us on TikTok. You can follow us on Instagram. Even though I don't use Instagram or Twitter, fuck it. Give us a follow. All right? That being said, if you have yet to smash the like button, subscribe, notify, social media, give us a follow, support the cause, and support what we do. Appreciate you guys. Oh, and if you're feeling really happy today, if you're really liking what we do, you can always go hit that share button down there and share it on your page so more people know that they can get some free live stream for the next couple weeks, right? Good shit. Free education, free analysis. Who wouldn't want to be here? Pfft. As a new trader, I would want to be here. This is cool. Yes, you're welcome, Jason, anytime. Michael J, I think there's upside to GTT. I was hoping for a 210 exit. Let's go look at GTT real quick. No, that is not GTT. I'm like, yeah, you're way above $2, man. It had potential as it was holding that 13 SMA, but look at today. Look at how we're dipping back below the 13 SMA. If we close like this, if this is 4 o'clock and this is how we closed, without any news, without any significant driving factor to drive the price up, to me, based on technicals alone, it does not look like it really has that much potential, right? If we close like this today, our next level for a possible hold to see if we could move back up, 168 and then 150, okay? Without any kind of catalyst to really get this going, solely based on technicals, to me, it looks like we have room to 168 and 151 for a possible hold and then get the move. But based on what I see here, it doesn't look all that great. Still waiting on the freaking Carlton. Hold on.
Find the perfect song for your video in 5 seconds. Go to
Yo, I can't do that. I just looked up the Carlton dance. I can't do that. I would try, but definitely not going to make a fool of myself today. I cannot do the Carlton, but I can do the Q-tip and throw it away. All right. Great session. See you tomorrow. Absolutely, Bill. Absolutely. Not going to get the Carlton. Not going to happen. Thoughts on LGHL? They're setting up a blockchain fund and investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum. They have expected news on the 31st. Price has been slow going up over the past few weeks. LGHL. L to the G to the H to the L. Lion Group Holdings. They have expected news on the 31st. What is the expected news? Last news I see was 318. Lion Group holding shares up 8% as buy, sell short chat circulates stock as non-fungible token idea. Announced in February, it would be working with Ground Shores Technology to provide blockchain technology support, digital asset platforms. So here we have to take some keywords out of this press release, Logan. All right? Not saying it's not going to happen, not saying that, you know, it's not a good investment. What do we see here? Announced idea. So the buy, sell, short chat circulates stock as non-fungible token idea. All right, so it's not even guaranteed. It's not even set in stone as of right now based on the previous press release. All right, it's an idea. Not saying that they're actually going to be working with Grand Shorts Technology to provide blockchain technology support. It's 50-50. It's an idea. It could not. So that's just one thing you have to be mindful of from that press release. I haven't really done much fundamentals on it. If it's an NFT play, in my opinion, right, you can't really go wrong with NFT plays right now because what's the hype? NFTs. Until we start seeing all the NFTs just go to shit like the EVs did, right? Like CCIV, NIO, Plug, all selling off. NFTs are good plays, right? But just do your due diligence. Assess your risk. Understand what you're getting involved with, right? If you like this fundamentally, you think that that news is going to happen and that's going to be something that happens and NFTs are still hot and people are trading them, it's all you. It's all you. From a technical standpoint, as long as we hold above the 13 SMA and continue to grind higher, you're good to go to the upside. Again, as long as we hold above the 13 SMA, this yellow line, and continue to build these higher lows and higher highs above that level, right, you are still considered to be bullish. All right, last one, G5, and then we're out of here. Check out OCGN gap fill in the daily with a possible double bottom. OCGN. Yeah, I love the gaps. I love the gaps. Everybody used to call me the gap hunter. I would hunt for those gaps, especially when those gaps fell in those OTE zones. Blah, blah, blah. Ate them up. But yeah, starting to fill that gap today. The only thing I don't like, it's below the 50 SMA, and that's a pretty key level when I'm looking at long-term stuff. Is are we above or below the 50? We're actually below. If we can get back above, yeah, we have some room to the upside. But as long as we stay below, we could actually see one of these. Yeah, it's filling the gap. It bounces. 50 SMA holds it down as resistance along with other prior support, new resistance. We could actually see this stay in between the 580 to 750 level, right? It doesn't have to re-break 750, could it? Absolutely, but we have to be mindful of, we got the 50 SMA, and from a long-term perspective, when we're below the 50 SMA, it's considered bearish, right? We do have past support here that could hold this down as resistance, so that's one thing to be mindful of, taking everything into consideration, not just that it's holding the gap. But it is a good level, right? It's the gap. We have prior resistance, prior support, right around $6 natural support as well. It's not bad at all. Not bad at all. All right, 4 more minutes, guys. 4 to 5 more minutes. Any other questions that I haven't gotten to, please let me know. Oh, Nico, what up, buddy? Good job, Josh, as always. Thank you. Thank you. Logan, what do you do to find traits? I use a screener and have multiple watch lists, but I struggle actually finding good setups and entry points. It all comes down to pre-market stock selection. I have a screener. There's 200 stocks on these screeners, but which one's the best one? I have my own criteria behind it in pre-market, all right? For the sake of not tying up 30 minutes with everybody that was here yesterday, go look at yesterday's live stream. Go to minute marker 34. That's when we go live, and we actually do our pre-market stock selection checklist live. And that's going to kind of break down what I look for in stocks. News, catalysts, volume, float, average volume. There's a lot of different variables that I look for. So out of the 200 stocks, we did this live yesterday, I was able to narrow down to 3 stocks that I wanted to focus on. And based on those 3 stocks I wanted to focus on, we were able to narrow down 1 stock that had the best potential, which was HGEN. So we did it live. We did it in front of everybody. So I would highly suggest going back to yesterday's live stream, again, fast forward to minute marker 34 when we go live, and watch the first 20 minutes as we explain exactly what you're looking to get, all right? But to add on to that, it all comes down, finding good setups and entry points, it all comes down to practice, 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 all right? You have to know strategies. You have to know setups. You have to know the criteria behind each and every setup, all right? Every setup has different criteria. Every setup has different stop losses, where you place them, whether it's the low, this, that. There's a lot of variables. So again, knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. Learn these things, right? Understand a bull flag, their criteria, where stop should be. Understand an ascending triangle, their criteria, where stop should be. Understand a bounce, the criteria, where the stop should be. A 5-minute reversal, right? Understand, get knowledgeable on these setups. Then it comes down to you and back testing them. Getting in a paper account. When you see a bull flag, trade it. If it didn't work out, make adjustments. Trade it again. Didn't work out, make adjustments. Trade another one. Didn't work out, make adjustments until you perfected it damn near. To where you have like, all right, bull flag, this is how I trade them. 70% of the time, I'm right based on my approach. That is what's called, Logan, your edge. My edge is different than yours. My edge is different than Mark. Everybody, my edge is different. So again, it all comes down to knowledge. Paper trade, paper trade, paper trade. All right? Lose fake money, not real money, while you learn. Get a track record of success. Track record of success. Proven consistency. Then implement that in a live account. And that's how you're going to answer your question, right? How do you find the good setups and the entry points? It all comes down to learning, applying, back testing, getting consistent, right? Having raw data that you can look at and say, okay, I am consistent. Then it's just applying it, okay? Mark, great job. Already referred you to a couple buddies. Should have more viewers and subscribers soon. I've heard it once. I've heard it a million times. We blow other communities out of the water that have millions of followers, right? But again, it's not about, millions of followers. It's about really helping people, right? I got 33 people here. If I'm helping all 33 people, that's important to me, right? That's important to me. If it was more, even better. If it's one, as long as someone's taking value away from this, that's all that matters. So I appreciate you, Mark. What was that fib level institutions look at? It's called the OTE zone, G5. OTE, optimal trade entry, all right? It is the midpoint between the 61.8 fib and the 78.6 fib. So this little midpoint between the 61 and the 78, that is considered to be the OTE zone, the optimal trade entry zone. And as we saw in that past example, it was respected. For paper trading, what is best TOS paper or TOS on demand? Just use TOS paper. If you want to do TOS on demand, basically you're just gonna back test. That's when you back test. So paper trading, you're live in the environment. But let's say you have a certain strategy and some criteria that you want to run back 6 months on a particular stock. That's when you're going to use the on demand. But paper trading, if you want to sit here and learn and practice but not risk real money, that's when you would paper trade. Jason, my man, just shared on Facebook. Thank you. Hey, man, I appreciate you. Follow Jason's lead, everybody. If you like the content, if you're not afraid to support, to bring other people in so we can help build them up and educate them. Again, just dropping value bombs, guys, left and right, all day, every fucking day. Do us a solid. Follow Jason's lead. Hit the share button. Post it on your social media. Put a little caption. Some awesome stuff. I appreciate it, guys. So, with that being said, it's 11:22. Slowish day in the market, right? Slowish day in the market. Not too hot, but we came in. We found the opportunities, we made money, right? We came in, we found the opportunities, we made money. Again, it's not about home runs every single day. It's about base hits. What was that example? I don't even think I finished that example. $250 a day times 18 days. It's $4,500, right? We talked about how that can change your life, this and that. But there's still, on average, 2 other trading days. From my experience as a disciplined, consistent trader, every now and then I get a reward. The market gives me a reward of bigger profits, home run trades, right? Because I'm sitting back, I'm disciplined and patient, waiting for the best entry. Sometimes I may have a 50-cent target, but that shit explodes $3, and I look down and I make $5,000, $2,000. I was only looking to make a few hundred, but I made $5,000. Woo! Home run. I'm not looking for 3, 4, 5 grand a day. I'm looking for consistent base hits. But again, on average, 1 to 2 days a month, the market rewards me with a home run trade. That home run trade eats up all of my teeny losses, and it gives me some extra. So imagine getting a $3,000 home run trade, right? And you were down $1,000, so let's say it offsets at $2,000. Well, you just made $6,500 by being consistent. You made $6,500. You're getting taxed less because it's capital gains. 12 months, you're making $78,000 a year working from your home 15 hours a day. That's stock trading, baby. That's stock trading. That's the beauty of it. All right, guys. So you know the drill. We got 29, 30 viewers. Who wants to start me off with you know the drill when we're leaving. Let's see if we got anybody that remembers from yesterday. Who's going to start the lead? Do I got to count down for you? I'm going to see someone post it first. The second I see something come through, that's when we'll do the countdown. Oh, I know Jason knows. In 3, 2, 1. Woo! That's what I'm talking about, everybody. Awesome day. Awesome work. Hopefully you guys made some money. If not, there's always tomorrow. Don't be discouraged. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, 9:10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another day of trading. It is the last day of the month. Let's end the month off strong on a positive green note, and let's get prepared for April. Big things coming in April, ladies and gentlemen. Ultimate Day Trading Starter Kit will be 100% complete. Right now, it's 90% complete. It's still available, but it will be done in the next couple weeks. Alpha Day Trading will be redeveloped and launching in April as well. Big things coming, guys. Stay tuned. I can't wait to continue to work with you. Happy and safe trading. Enjoy the rest of your day. Again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, hit me up anytime. You know where to find me. Until then, happy, safe trading. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.